Listen to your childhood script. Was you the one that always saying, "Can I help?" Or was you the one to say, "I can do it"? Or was you the one that always said, "Leave me alone"? Because in your life script tell you your original purpose. I was a "can you help" baby. Till I started being scorned and ridiculed for helping. Now I don't want to help a motherfucker, but I still want to help.
I mean, you're doing work out here, so definitely appreciate the info. Last question, I'm gonna hop off and just observe from this point. But you spoke of like wind knocks, and there's several different type of knocks. I'm not familiar with that. Uh,
Get this book.
what?
I mean, this movie, and I think it's called Wind Talkers. It's a movie about the World War II, and the soldiers that they got, the Navajo wind talking soldiers, and it'll give you some insight into what I'm talking about.
Okay, I'll definitely check it out.
For sure.
I appreciate you. Yeah, allow me to join. Appreciate the
Ain't no
info, man.
ain't no
Take care of
problem.
yourself.
Yeah, let's see, find one of the sisters.
Chief,
Hey.
Chief King.
What's going on with you? How you doing? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Oracle Park in Calicia out here. I got the kids in the back. Baby, say hi.
How you?
We're driving. How you doing, Chief King, Lightning Rod, Wakion,
I'm I'm just crooked walking across the land trying to galvanize every man, woman, and child from now until now on.
Hi, yay, hi, yay. So you doing the same what we've been doing, huh?
Yes.
Well, I wanted to tap in
What?
because the brother he led us right back to it. But speaking about the wind talking and wind knocking, when Queen of Canada spoke to you, I read everything backwards in my spirit. In the beginning of the video, she was talking about blue, black. And then the end of the video, she was talking about red to white on the head, on the crown. And what my spirit read was that, it, like you said, it's been done already. It's done. The Redskins won. The people of the land won. And the codes of black and white being, of nobility and black being dead, all that. She flipped it. And she was speaking to you when she said seven bird water because seven is the lightning rod, and the bird is the thunderbird. And so, yeah, I could hear everything she was saying, and it made me rejoice inside because sometimes we forget that everything's happening at once. Like when we talk about quantum and the dimensions of existence, like for some, the nuclear bomb already went off because that's the timeline that they thought they were on or they bought into. And for others, for those of us who are here and present, everything that you have spoken have not returned void, including the three kings walking on the land. So sometimes it's far-fetched for us to conceive of King Tuki being on ice and whatnot, but it really all depends on which frequency we're vibrating at. And so the higher we vibrate, then interdimensionally, that's what our experience becomes. So what I heard her say in essence was, it's already been done and it's already won. So my assignment now, probably like yours, is just like, how do we train up these babies, How do we continue to help them to lighten their frequency so that they can live in the land of the living and,
First,
walk this
that
out with them?
that's the question, right? So what we do with the children next? We're gonna have what we call children developmental programs.
Okay.
We're getting all the way away from what we call school.
Yes.
Ain't no more school. When the
Yes.
system flip, all of the schools is closing.
Right, right.
The buildings, the buildings can be repurposed,
Yes,
but even the form that they in is designed to trap the mind.
yes,
So that's the first thing. The next thing is the women gonna have to determine which women gonna be workers in the community and which one of them gonna be domestics.
yes,
The domestics is gonna include your doula center training, your child development program as instructors and overseers. So it's gonna be always multiple eyes on the children at all times. The women is gonna be in control of that. That's in the clans,
yes.
right? We got a whole different curriculum like this. We teaching that Professor X School of the Gifted shit children how to see with blindfolds on.
Yes, right, babies? We already on that over here. We didn't even put them in. They told me what they wanted to. I mean, your kids will tell you. I let them try it one day, and they wanted out of there so quickly. They picked up on everything, all of the vibrations that, you know, the institution has. And my son Keen right here, he's 8. He said, Mama, it was weird. She treated the teacher. She treated me like I was a criminal or something. And I just was like, I said, well, baby, do you want to go back? And he said no. So yeah, we do Earth School and Nether School. We have an auntie up here in Northern California who's been teaching us to read, you know, Medu Neter, and we really just learn from nature. So we forage, and we do all the math and the science that we can, but through the lens of what we encounter on the daily, you know. So it's. Ooh,
I'm gonna show you a girl that I ain't gonna show the whole video, but this is a girl in London. She's from India, but they teach her how to read blindfolded
Okay.
because they don't think this shit be real until they see somebody do it. So, you know, I like to bring receipts.
Yeah, bring
letting
it.
an audience member before matching up the colors as though her eyes were wide open.
First the green, then the orange, then the blue, then the blue, then the yellow,
Yes.
then the like a donut.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Even beating this young onlooker at a game of tic-tac-toe.
X, I won.
Yay! When the
Yes.
temple first reached out to tell me about the girl with the superhuman abilities, I didn't know what to think, but I knew I had to see it for myself. Hi! Perfect timing. How are you?
Good.
Good. Thank you so much for coming. Hello.
Hello.
Nice to see you. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Okay, let's just take a seat right here. Yoga Mata agreed to sit with me and demonstrate her abilities one-on-one. So, Yoga Mata, I saw what you were doing in there. It's really amazing. But some people at home watching this...
Now, her name is Yoga Mata. In Hindi, that's the mother of the yogis.
Oh, yes.
Because Mata in Hindi is mother.
Yes, Mada.
Hmm. So she a little kid, and they calling her the mother of the yogis already. But she's one of several students in the class over there that read blindfolded. This is part of the curriculum that we go into.
Go, baby, go. Yes. Well, we're
So they
here
got a
already.
reading program called IQ, EYEQ,
Uh-huh.
and it's a speed reading program,
Mhm.
and it's in game format to facilitate children to learn how to speed read.
Uh-huh.
Right. So what we're supposed to be teaching them is, if we teach children the way the brain function, we would teach them the alphabet, phonics, and
Yeah.
then speed reading. And once they get the speed reading skills down, we're supposed to turn them loose on the library and say, learn everything you can.
Yes. Yes. I love it.
You see,
Yeah.
so we know what to do on all levels.
Mhm.
We just got to get our people to wake up so we can start doing what's right and stop doing this bullshit. Because this
Yes.
shit ain't right. Excuse my language with
Yes.
the babies in the back.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Um, yeah, it's an honor, truly. I was in the pyramid of Chichen Itza. Hold on one second, baby. Okay, can you give your brother some of those rosemary crackers back there? Thank you, baby. I'm just on my juice delivery route right now in San Francisco. When you picked up the phone, I really was at Oracle Park. I think it's just all so everything's all tuned in. It's all in alignment. But what I was gonna say
You starting
was
you starting to break up pretty bad too. I think you're losing reception wherever you're going through.
so I don't interrupt the flow. But keep on keeping on, and I'm here screaming free Larry Hoover all day, free the people of the land, and restore all of the conditions to the people of the land.
Then it cut off. All right, sweetie, you cutting in and out, so I'm gonna let another caller come in so you can watch the rest of it.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
That's good. Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Alabama. Um,
Alibaba.
yeah. So I probably sent you some messages, but I've been seeing Hawk for like 4 days in a row.
I think you got your speaker covered up because you sound muffled.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I said I've been seeing Hawks like 4 days in a row. I don't know what that means.
It might not mean nothing or it might mean something. It depends on what's the catalyst.
The
Like
catalog.
what you got me coming in through the background. You got another computer on or something?
Hold on.
Oh, that's what that was. She had me on speaker. She buffering now. I'm just gonna answer her question. So she wanna know. She keeps seeing hawks. When you see things that get your attention, they mean something. But you got to take stock of what you thinking about when you see it. What you was doing right before you saw it, or where you was going, or where you was coming from. All of those things go into translating exactly what do the symbol mean. So it get your attention, it tell you it means something, but that's all you looked at. But you didn't look at what you was thinking, what you was doing, where you was going, where you was coming from. Then all of that stuff is like fine tuning what it means when you see certain stuff. They tell me Connecticut in the cut. Let's see what they do in Connecticut.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's just some of the parts. What's going on with you guys? What's going on? Where you
Yo,
calling
what's
from?
going on, Peace
What's
God?
on your mind?
What they do?
Peace, hello.
Hey, hey. So where y'all calling from? What's on y'all mind?
We calling from Connecticut.
We're in Connecticut. It's raining bad.
Yeah, but it's nice out.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the water. Well,
Right.
that was it's a flip.
Yeah, we are ready.
Yeah.
We've been telling everybody like what's going on. We trying to keep like we just send them all your lives. To be honest,
Facts.
it's the best way to catch everybody up. But
Get you up, right? Righteous.
oh, we gotta get in the light.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, but so the question I had, because last time we was on live, I was at work. You was talking about the birth of a god. I was hoping you could expound on that.
Back into the mitochondria and the DNA and yeah, the birth.
Okay,
of
so
God.
you ever hear the old ladies talking about tell you don't do something while you pregnant because you'll mark that child?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what they telling you. You had the power to influence fetal development from the power of the mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if a man and a woman agree to produce a child, they can sit down and describe the child they want to produce between the two of them, right? You want a high functioning, physically healthy child. You can pick the gender and all that before y'all ever decide to start trying to make a baby. But let's say that she pregnant, she don't know what she having, and you still want to fine tune the baby to only work on mental capacity, right? And physical fitness. You want a strong, healthy child with high mental ability, right? But then you start studying what does it take to bring that out of a child too, right? So we know from studying this that classical music, specifically Beethoven, and brings out the genius in the developing fetus. This has been proven in science.
Yep.
And also, yeah, so it's also been proven that Beethoven's music causes plants to grow healthier, stronger. And we also know that Beethoven's music in fetuses, in adolescent children, facilitate their learning process and help them navigate learning curves at a more rapid rate. So this is just through adding one thing to the development of the child. The next thing we got to understand is the mother is going to be the most powerful force on the developing fetus. Once she understands that, and whatever characteristics that she most annoy you with is the one she's going to embed in the child. Right? So she got to be foreknowing this going in, and she have to have a constant dialogue for that trait not to show up. Right? So she's saying that, no, my child not going to be like this. No, my child not going to behave that way. No, my son or my daughter not going to have disrespect for the opposite gender just because of their gender. Right? She's talking to the child. She's instilling rules, and she's engaging the child in pregnancy. Right? Now, the father can do it too, but only if the mother is not in the process will it cross over. Like, so let's say you wide the fuck awoke, and she ain't woke at all. You better start talking to your unborn through telepathy. Because she's not going to be communicating to him in what you call a coherent functional manner. So he's going to be picking up mixed signals all day. That's why all these children are born with all these disorders now. All it means is that we're not controlling the children we bring into the world. We bring it in the world, whatever happened. Right? But we didn't used to do that. Right? So when we know what we want in our children, you got to make sure, like, for instance, it's more likely that 2 5-foot parents will produce a 7-foot child than 2 7-foot parents. Crazy, ain't it?
Right.
Whereas it's more likely that 2 7-foot parents to produce a 5 to 6'5" child average. Right? Because that's called the cross section of DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So when you understand that these things matter, you can influence the DNA to upgrade in real time. Right? So you notice that a lot of the people who used to be glued to their phones, their children glued to their phones.
Mm-hmm.
They got phones at 3 years old because they can't live without a phone. Because their mama couldn't live without a phone. All while she was pregnant, all she did was text and tried to hawk down her baby daddy. Right? But in the reality of if they understood the responsibility of the parents, even though he might not be there, he out doing something to benefit the home. And she's confident enough that he out there doing something to benefit the home to the degree where she can focus on psychological well-being of an unborn child, emotional well-being of an unborn child. Then when it comes time to give birth, don't just spit the baby out, cut the cord. That's not how that's supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to cut the cord till the mother's milk tell the placenta to separate from the uterus. This is creating a circuit between the mother and the child, which also balances the emotional body of the child instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have a cranky baby. And then when you leaving with somebody, says you got the best baby. What you do while you was pregnant make your baby come out so good? But that can be affected in that one act of allowing the colostrum to tell the baby's digestive system to send the enzymes through the umbilical cord to release the placenta. The whole process is dealing with chakra number 3. Right? And chakra number 3 is tying to the silver cord of the mother through the umbilical cord. Right? So when you understand in the science of the fetal development, the mother's communication with the child, both unborn and born, you get to create a more holistic environment to bring the children up in. And that's how your mama know, like, something wrong with my baby. And she calling you and you trying to fight. Your phone blowing up because it's your mama won't stop calling you to see what you're doing. I'm about to whoop this nigga ass. What? Mama, quit calling me. You about to get, I'm trying to go get in this, but no, or you about to go do a stick up. But your mama keep blowing your phone up. I can't even go in here and rob motherfucker. My phone keep blowing up. How the fuck your mama know? Mitochondrial synapse. The mitochondrial frequency is a radio wave of love energy. As long as she love you enough, she gonna be able to read all of the dirt you doing or all of the good you doing, and she not doing it with her conscious mind. It's coming from the heart. It's the heart connection. Right. So now we dealing with what's that? The 4th chakra.
Yeah.
Solar plexus.
Yeah.
Right.
The solar
and that's how. So look. So this how your mama and her having a full-fledged conversation about you using your heart chakra as a jump station.
Right.
Your mama is saying to her what type of woman she need to be to keep you.
Mm-hmm.
But your mama ain't gonna just tell it to anybody.
Right.
Right? They gotta match the frequency in the heart.
Right.
And when you see certain stuff, it's gonna get your attention. Like, damn, it's like somebody picked this girl for me. How the fuck she know that I like red beans and rice and I ain't told her? That's the best goddamn red beans, How she know? How she know I didn't give a fuck about no holidays? How did she know? Now she making me give a fuck about these motherfuckers. I'm starting to see more than the pagan association with the disgruntled minds of the oppressed trying to fend off the oppressor by attacking the holidays. And I get to see it a little different now. You know how I see it now? Every excuse to bring the family together and have a party, goddamn it, take advantage of it. Because if we don't come together and laugh together,
because leave it to the family, it won't be none.
Facts.
It was my
Yep.
mother's birthday
Start
shot. Yep.
set that
Everybody
shit
gathered
off
around.
like Vivica.
Facts.
Like Vivica A. Fox set it off. This is what we used to do to this is where the Mardi Gras celebration is a family march. It started with a particular family. If you go back to you won't be able to get back that far in their written history. But the original Mardi Gras festival started from a family that used to do dress up and walk and parade through the town.
What? That's what?
Look, every major city, the training ground to in order to reach 3 generations is New Orleans. It's a city. I'll be telling you, half of New Orleans is underwater.
Mm-hmm. I always wanted to go. I never gotta go.
Yeah, so
No.
Here, check this out. This was all them people that don't believe that these motherfuckers sunk our cities. Watch this.
Battery 70%. Connected to iPhone. Sub-powered.
This is Dabu 7. We have word out of New Orleans that there is the potential for an underwater city to be sitting there some 50 miles off the coast of St. Bernard in the region of New Orleans. Now they're saying that amateur archaeologists, fishermen, all these people that have been in the area are all saying the same thing. That something weird is happening out here. And they believe that this is a city that dates back to 12,000 years ago. They're stating that this region is showing proof of having buildings on the site. And if this is true, then this could date back to 12,000 years ago when that region had dry land instead of the water that you see now in the Gulf of Mexico. So this is right around an area called the Chandelier Island, out in the Gulf of Mexico, east of New Orleans, where these granite slabs and rocks have been discovered. One thing is for certain, there is something there.
So they was blowing our
It's always
cities
gonna
up.
be something there.
Look, I be telling people, when I tell you I know what I'm talking about, I know what
We
I'm
just
talking
be
about.
listening to everything. Like, tell us more, because listen, we really sat down one night. We was like, all right, we got to make a timeline. But the way how you just give us a download, it be right
as
on
soon
time.
as she was like, yeah, we gotta make a timeline. Like a couple of days later, you dropped the timeline
Yeah.
video. I was cracking up. I'm
Like, I named
see,
two
now
things.
we don't even gotta drop no timeline
Like,
anymore.
I was looking up J. Edgar Hoover, shit like that, and then, you know, going into whatnot, you ended up doing the live. I'm like, there we go. Like, everything just, feel me? But yeah.
Yeah, when I had to do 3 of them that day in order to get one of them to stick because they kept cutting me off.
And they're doing it tonight too. I'm just lucky to be on with you. Feel me? I definitely have to say thank you.
Shit, I might be the lucky one.
We gonna
Y'all
stay
calling
on.
it
No,
act-
to be honest, we started
Look,
this
y'all
page,
calling
but
to ask about giving birth to a god. Shit, y'all have a baby. Shit,
Yeah,
I be
I'm trying to
contributing
have
to that
14
shit.
kids. You feel me? You already know what time we are. You know what I mean?
that was the first date. Like 14 kids. I'm like 14. But to be honest, we was talking about the mitochondria and everything was linking up, but we never paid attention to science. So to have you, you know, break it down to a basic level, and I'm like, wow, everything's really connecting.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned, well, one thing I want to know about was like twins, but you also mentioned like spontaneous abortion, and then that's when you had mentioned the birthing of a god. So I'm like, I want to know how everything, like, feel me, works out.
Okay, when I talked about spontaneous abortion, it goes to a couple of things. The first thing is most women produce a chemical in their vagina that kills the Y chromosome. Because the Y chromosome to the mother is a foreign invader. So in order to get a Y chromosome beyond the vagina, the woman have to climax to flush. right? So it makes it easier for the Y chromosomes to get through to make a male child, right? So already on regular sex, about 60% of the Y chromosomes is dead out the gate. He's dead out the gate off the squirt, right? The mother's vagina is working on killing that motherfucker right now. Now, some of them gonna make it through. But let's say a 2X and the XY both hit the egg at the same exact time and both of them penetrate. It's going to cross out the XY. It's going to kick it straight out and it's going to absorb it. Because only one of the eggs one of the sperm can fertilize the egg. And because the two X's are matches with the two X's, it's going to take that as the nucleus before it take the XY. So the material of the XY becomes absorbed as what is called backup material by the two X's that organized it, right? And the two X's that do the organizing, the active part is in the mother because it got to be activated through the mitochondria. We think because the sperm is the one look like it's moving, that the egg is not alive. But that's not true. A woman can get struck by lightning and start an egg to growing. It'll just be a 100% clone of herself like she gave birth to her identical twin.
Yep. Let alone the women that do reproduce by themselves.
Right. It's called
parthenogenesis.
Yep. Yeah. Probably more, probably just more the spiritual aspect. Like that's something that we went through. You feel me? So, and it was two males. So we didn't know what they would have been until they came. So we're like, wow, two boys.
So in the first 3 months, the first trimester, 75% of spontaneous abortions are males. Because when you start exchanging the estrogen, progesterone, and adjusting it, you haven't adjusted your chemistry to carry a male child. You're not doing anything in the change of diet to facilitate it. So it takes it as a parasite and rejects it. Right? About 60% or so of second trimester spontaneous abortions are also male. Normally after the second trimester, it has to be an anomaly to cause a early birth. But what we don't know is you got 3 birth cycles of human. You got the 7-month, the 9-month, and the 12-month. The 12-month, usually closer to the 10th month, they will induce their labor. But the baby not done doing what it have to do yet. But they don't want you to know that we don't all birth on a 9-month schedule.
Right.
But the women instinctually know, but they won't say nothing because they used to get killed for saying something. They wiped out all the doulas, turned doula centers into hospitality centers. They call them hospitals.
Yep.
So now we putting it all back together.
And we both.
If you put everything where it's supposed to go, it'll run the way it's supposed to run.
Yeah, we both have a background in healthcare, so we already third eye wide open. Like,
you know, we was definitely
we actually met at work, so
yeah, like off rip, we was already like, you know, talking about, you know, home birth. Like that was my shit. You feel me? And like it's just crazy.
I know y'all glow good together.
Yeah,
thank you.
What I mean? Like, it's just I don't know. Life is really some shit. You feel me? Like
so the lady before y'all heard me talking about the training center and all that stuff.
Exactly. And it's crazy because I already have a son. You know what I mean? So like I don't know, like I'm just absorbing everything. And not only that, I have nephews. I have a lot of just young ones always around me. Not only that, I was a teacher in multiple schools. Like life just led me to that shit. So I already know, like, I'm supposed to be like absorbing enough information in order to be able to relay it back to the young ones. You feel me? So it can make sense to them. You know what I mean? So I watch mad cartoons and shit like that, all that anime, all that shit, so I could like really be.
A lot of it is in the anime.
Let me stay away from
the
that
anime.
Shit. You said what?
Yeah, the anime got like all of the instructions. If once you know your history, you gonna get so much shit out of anime. You gonna love that shit.
Word.
My favorite one right now is Bleach.
Bleach, yeah, Bleach is fire. Bleach is fire. It's long, but it's fire.
Look,
we actually
I binge watched Bleach.
Yeah.
We watched one recently. It's like one of the first ones she really got put onto. I've been telling her to watch anime for mad long, but I ended up getting her to watch one. It's called That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime.
He comes back as a slime. First 10 seconds, he gets stabbed to death. You feel me? He dies.
And I was just saying, like, you feel me? Like, so many people are afraid to die, and they don't really understand what the meaning. The death, like, it's a perspective thing. You know what I mean? And like, we're really supposed to shed this skin in order to like reach our greater selves and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, like, we can't ever be afraid to die and shit.
Your body, when your mind gets to the right frequency, your body is the Merkaba.
Right.
It's a 3-part hieroglyphic word. The Mir is a ship. The Ka means your physical body. Ba is your soul, your spirit navigator. Right? Then you go into other ones. It's like 21 parts to the human personality. Right? But those are the major ones. Then you had a Sa, which is governing over the uterus. It's the symbol of rulership, the symbol of childbirth, the symbol of rebirth. You'll see in Ainana holding the Ba, right? So it's a lot of stuff that come with the Ba, but that's the women's rights. So it doesn't make sense when I try to explain how it worked to a man. The vibration don't go in right. He can intellectually understand it, but a woman can understand it from her mind, her heart, and her uterus. So she can understand it on a level we can't because we don't got no uterus. Right? Her uterus, it can echo. It's an echo chamber. Right? And when she talk and she pray, which is actually she should be meditating, then what they got us doing is prayer is projecting when we should be receiving. We should be receivers first, because then you can understand what the universe has for you. And it echoes through the uterus and the heart chakra, and then it bounces off the 4 chambers of the brain. And the 2 top chambers is the king seat and the queen seat. One is on the left hemisphere, one is on the right. In the queen seat sits your pineal gland, which is the pine cone. And in the king seat sits your pituitary gland, which is responsible for biochemistry. And it all works together to allow you to turn your body into something that you don't know is possible at this point in time. Your emotions is your navigation system. You're not supposed to let your emotions determine your actions. You're supposed to read your emotions so that you would know if your action is in context or not. Because if it's not in context, then that means there's some outside influences in your character or personality that you picked up along the way. Right, so that's part of the shadow work.
Yep. Like
that's
every time I
meditate,
the first thing I do is like I shed all that negative energy around me. The negative energy I don't even know that's around me. Like first thing first.
Yeah, so that's psychic self-defense. Right, so when you start building up your auric field, right, it's an exercise where you can feel the energy between your palms. The stronger you make them, the stronger your aura. That's an aura exercise. That's what Tai Chi is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I came from martial arts. Like I did karate, and I also come from Muslim background. So every time everything just be connecting, I'm like, oh my gosh, like all the words, like Arabic, even Latin, everything. I be like, oh my gosh, like everything is making too much sense. So it just be like knock.
Nah, like ever since I met her, I'm like, yo, we really have superpowers. Like, you feel me? Like all of
but
that
we
shit.
practiced it.
All
like,
of that shit is not even like this is the shit that we already do. Like, you feel me? Like we really gotta free our minds type shit and like really become a child like again to really like unlock ourselves. You feel me?
Yeah.
Look, I give y'all y'all inbox me. I'm gonna give y'all exercise for the couple in order to build y'all energy. Y'all be like a battery in a remote control for manifestation.
Been practicing the finger pulling. So
yeah,
I've been
having some crazy ass dreams or some shit. We've been like, what the fuck? Yo, like it's been wild. So like, you feel me? Like I don't know, shit is just getting more and more advanced. We feel the thinness between the realms and shit. So it's like. You feel me? The veil,
for one, we gotta come back on live again. Like this is not our last conversation, but for two,
because
like,
our phone's really about to die. I don't even want you to feel like we cut out or nothing.
I know. Look, inbox me. I got some information. We're gonna pick up a private call. I give y'all some private information.
Yes.
Because it's some stuff I just can't say publicly because there do be children watching.
Okay.
But I say enough motherfuckers in here to offend their sensibilities.
Yeah.
So not to have to get graphically into manifestation through cultivating Shakti energy.
Oh yeah, we definitely gotta talk about that.
Facts.
Yeah. Wait, I do got one thing that you was talking about, remote viewing. Like now we gotta read on this. Like first we're like astral projection.
Yeah,
but
so
we feel like we
what's
kind of
the difference? Like what's you feel me? We need to know. Like
look, you can do all of those things on you can do them at the same time. You can do them one day this, one day that to practice. But the more you practice, the better you get.
Yeah. We're just the best thing that we do and that we agree with you the most is read. Like we read all the time. So now we're like, okay.
That's weightlifting for the brain.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
You was teaching about the speed reading. Like we were never taught this and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like really, I mean, I feel like I kind of do it already. You know, like I have a whole lot of books, and I just really pick out the best parts. I go to the context, I pick out the best parts that I feel like. I'll go to them shits, I skip through them shits real good. I'll go back to them shits, I'll skip through them shits again. You feel me? And then I'll do that over time. You know what I mean? Until like I feel like, all right, I feel like I've mastered what I want out of this particular you know what I mean, piece of literature. But at the same time, I want to be on some like click download but real time. You know what I mean? Like I take a book,
read it, read that.
I know you've seen Constantine, that the priest, he was like able to like skim through, you feel me, anything. Like it's like, you know what I mean? He could just pick up all the information out of whatever he's even touching, basically. So I know
that's psychometry.
So
if you once you develop psychometry, which is the psychic sense that you have to develop, you pick a book up, you won't never have to open it, and you could tell me what page to turn to see something.
Okay.
Right, so it's definitely possible. I knew people that could do it.
Yeah, that's what I need, definitely, because I'm like, I don't have enough time to read. Like you said, you already did the work, so we all we could do is just tune into every lecture that you drop. Like we watch everything,
absorb as much as possible and whatnot,
and apply
as
what
much
we can.
as possible when we see somebody. You know what I mean? And if we ever get into it, like really just tell them. You know what I mean? Because like it's not all the time. Like you could just. I'm not the type of person to just be like talking to anybody. So if like I ever come into like some like good type of conversation, I'll really be, you know, telling people like free Larry Hoover at the end of the day.
Yep. And when they don't know what it means, we're able to break it down to them, like you say all the time, into the context that they understand. And even if I don't, I'll be like, okay, Uncle Rob video, you just got to tune in, put your ears on. Feel me? Keep your mouth closed and 2 ears open. Like
Basically,
that's it.
basically.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because that's the type of time we grew up on. Like,
Yeah, that
when your elders
respect.
talk, like you
You
just
gotta listen.
shut the fuck up, like.
Because it was a privilege to even be in the room with them if you hear them talking.
Facts.
So if
And
they talking, you better listen up.
yeah, like even my mom's era, like you can't even look your elders in the eye type thing. So it's like a whole different, dynamics and whatnot. So I'm just thankful, like you just so chill and shit, like that.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I'm just like y'all. The only difference is I just had a lot of time to study.
Right.
Look, when them motherfuckers locked me up for 16 years, they thought they was doing a disservice to me. They didn't know they was doing the greatest service they could to my community.
Yep.
Right. So my sister that's a year younger than me, and my oldest brother bought me thousands of dollars worth of books over them 16 years.
Wow. Mhm.
So like whatever I do, I always let them know. I know when they don't understand always what I'm talking about, but I be like, all them books that y'all spent out that money buying, this is what the product of me finding out all this information.
Yep. Yeah.
So I can tell you where everything at now.
Yeah. Like I be listening to you, and I be looking at it like I don't even think that they really listening. Like, but we just be having everything, and like I said, it just so happened that we just might be talking about this shit 2 days prior.
Just be synchronicity, like
yeah.
Like even the fact like you even mentioned I was watching X-Men like earlier with my nephews, like for me on some shit. Like I'm like, oh shit, you feel me? Like this is crazy. You feel me? Like it's just too. You know what I mean? Like everybody. So if you on that vibration, just certain shit is just gonna connect. Like you're gonna be like, all right, so we on the same frequency. You know what I mean? Like so we here. Like you know what I mean? You at the right place. If somebody ain't tell you right now, you at the right place at the right time. Like you feel me? So you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take one more call before I wrap this one up.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, it was good talking to y'all.
We'll definitely be in touch.
Okay.
All right.